One.
Well, hey everyone. Good evening. My name is Craig Wilson. I am the principal at Thornton Elementary. Thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes while we go over our Title I parent presentation. So normally we would do this live at the school, but we're going to try something different this year, and we're going to do it online as a recorded version. So if you're seeing this right now, you made it through. So let's get started. All right, so first I want to give you an overview of our Title I program. Again, I said my name is Craig Wilson. I'm the principal here at Thornton Elementary. I've been here for about 8 years now, and I'm proud to be your principal. So the purpose of this information tonight is to provide you information about our Title I program for parents of students that participate in this program. So let me give you an update on our school progress. So our STAR results came in this summer. We had about 61% of all of our kids pass the STAR test in grades 3, 4, and 5. All of our subjects, that's reading, math, science, and writing. So we had a high rate of student progress. And what does that mean for us? Well, that means that we met standard as far as the state of Texas is concerned. We're very proud of that. This was the first year we had a full bilingual program over at our school. We made amazing growth for our students. Most of them made well over a year's worth of growth. So we're on the right track with that. There is a new accountability system in the state of Texas. So STAR is one part, it's the largest part of that rating, but there's also other things that the state of Texas and the Department of Education are looking at. Particularly, they want to see how well are those kids growing, and they also want to see, are we closing the achievement gap between our overall population and other targets of kids that we're looking at, like those that might be in special education, those African Americans, those children that are considered economically disadvantaged, and a few other students like that, including our English language learners. So what is Title I? Well, Title I is a program set up by the federal government, and it's funded through our state. And it gives funds to schools like ours that have a high percentage of impoverished students. And it's for us to help with reading and with math in particular. So extra help is given throughout the day. And this is in addition to what they normally do in their classroom. So this is outside the regular general instruction, provided the funding is provided by the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA. For those of us old enough to remember, this replaced the No Child Left Behind Act. It's been in place for a couple of years now. So there's two types of programs. One is called the School-Wide School Program, and the other one is targeted for students that are specifically identified in need. We are school-wide. What that means is that we can use our funds for any student at our school, and we sure do with that. So how did we get funded this year? Well, the monies came down to the district, and then our district distributed money to us based on the needs and based on our students. So what that means for us is our general Title I funds are going to be about $115,000 for the 2018-19 school year. We also, this is new for us, we got $14,000 that were given to us that we can use for supplies and training. And then we also have money that's available for parent involvement activities, family engagement. We have about $3,000 for that. So family engagement events include things like we just had our trunk or treat festival, any kind of a program we have at the school where we may have a family reading night, a family math night, story hour. We take our fifth graders to the University of Texas every year on buses. So it helps to pay for those kind of things like that as long as you come with us. And the cool thing is you get to help us choose how we're going to use that money. So most of those funds, though, we do put that $115,000 that you just saw on the other slide. Most of that money is going to use towards our instructional aides, our teacher assistants. They're called paraprofessionals. We do have 6 of them here at Thornton Elementary, and most of those are paid through those Title I funds. It can also be used, again, for supplemental teaching materials that we normally would not be able to afford in our regular general fund budget. And some of that money is set aside so that we can also train our teachers or send them to training on those newest, latest, and greatest reading and math strategies. So being a Title I school, we're required to do certain things. One of them is do an annual Title I meeting. That's what this is. You're getting it this year online instead of having to come into the building. We also have to have both a district and a school parent policy. We do. That's available for you to view. And we also have to have you guys sign the school and parent compacts. We had you do that at the very beginning of the school year. Those were one of the first things that got sent out to you. You guys signed that paper where it was a pledge from me, your teacher, the kids, and then you. We all made a pledge to each other to do better. So again, you can get copies of this here at the school, or if you'd like to go out to our webpage at tisd.org, they'll be available out there for you to see as well. Part of a Title I requirement is to let you guys know what kind of a curriculum we use. We go to a system called TEKS Resources. That's the Texas Education Knowledge and Skills. And these resources are used for grades kindergarten through 5th grade. They have been tested. They've been vetted. About 85% of the state of Texas uses all of these curricula. And of course, these are all created to help your child make the best on their state standardized testing. So how do we test your kids? Well, assessments are used by the teachers to understand where your kids are and what their next needs might be. So we use things like classroom quizzes and tests. There's nothing new with that. Our district also does what are called benchmarks, which are twice a year in certain grade levels and in certain concepts or content areas. We test your kids. We also use some other instruments that everybody else pretty much across the state uses. One is called TPRI, which is a reading assessment, Tejas Ley, which is the Spanish version of that reading assessment, and TELPAS, which is to test those children who are English language learners to see how much English they are learning, how proficient they are. And then, of course, if you have kids in grades 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, you know that we use STAR, which is the State of Texas Academic and Assessment of Academic Readiness. I always get that wrong. And then there's an alternative version of that STAR test that we give to our children who have special needs. So we have to set certain proficiency levels in our school. And when a child does not meet these assessment levels on a pattern and a regular basis, then we start looking to see how can our Title I funds help us. So for the little kids, what we look at is something like, are their skills developing or are they still developing? Meaning, are they close to being on grade level or are they not at grade level? When they start getting into grade levels that take test grades and daily grades and assignments, we use 70% or better. Anything below 70% is considered failing. And then on the STAR test, depending on which test the kids take, it's roughly between 55 to 65% that they have to get right on that test to be considered passing. So, process for contacting the staff. So you are very important to us and to how our kids are doing, and you are extremely crucial to Thornton's success. So if you do have questions concerning your child's performance in school, there are all kinds of different ways. You can talk to the classroom teacher. We have instructional coaches, literacy coaches, gifted and talented teachers and coaches that are available. And you also have me, your principal. I'll be more than happy to help you understand how this is going on. Your parents' rights under the Every Student Succeeds Act is the following. Your teachers are supposed to be highly qualified in the area that they're teaching. And if they are not highly qualified, I need to inform you and let you know that I would put a teacher in a grade level who maybe has not yet passed their certification tests. As of this point, all of our teachers are certified and are highly qualified in the areas they're teaching. You can also request an opportunity to meet regularly with me, with the teachers, with any staff member here at the school. You get to, of course, participate in the decisions that we make regarding your child, and you can always review our Title I application and our processes, our parent involvement policies. Anytime you want, come on up and see me, and we'll do that. I thank you very much. That was as short of the program as I could make it for you. I appreciate you watching this. Don't forget, when you're done with this video, I know it's on YouTube, go ahead and either close this screen out or click on the back button. I want you to go back to that Google form that got you here. There's going to be a link on there. That's your sign-in sheet. If you could just fill that in for me, I would appreciate it. I need to keep those documents for our federal records. Thank you very much for hanging out with me on Google and on YouTube. Have a great evening. And of course, as I always say, go Birds.